This is January 8, 2008. We're in the outskirts of Kabul city. This is a small group of people who have come to Kabul from Sangin in Helmand province, from the fighting. The other day there were also people here from Musakala, and we've been interviewing them, and what they've been telling us is they left Sangin and Musakala because of the fighting and the difficulties that they were having there. A lot of the families that we've interviewed lost family members in the bombing. The actual trip from Sangin to Helmand would have taken them several days, and they've used what little money they had to get to Kabul, where they believed it would be safer. The problem is, of course, that they didn't realize how very cold it is in Kabul this time of year, and the difficulty that the men would have finding work. So they're living in these tents with tarps in a piece of abandoned property. Most of the men have been unable to get work. Some of the families that were here from Musakala actually left to go back down south to Kandahar, where it's warmer, where they can actually live outside during the winter, and where they're hoping that they'll find work. We're traveling to Kandahar in a few days, so I think we're probably going to find the same thing we saw there before. Is there's lots of these small informal camps of refugees from the fighting, where people are, trying to make a way, and the men are trying to find some work. The children that are here in this camp, they're pretty much living out in the open in the cold winter nights here, and there's no heating whatsoever. They have very little food. We've just today brought them some blankets to try and help them get through the night. But it's a very difficult situation. This is the only camp of refugees from the fighting. There's really no system in place to help these people deal with the cold here, to try and find some way to look after their families. Just another case of Afghans who are displaced by the fighting, really having to make their own way in the most difficult circumstances, especially the cold weather that we have now here in Kabul in January. So there are kids in this camp without any shoes, with bare feet in the snow, and their little brothers and sisters are carrying them around because they don't have proper clothes for the winter. We've got to bring these kids some shoes, though.